we are finally on holiday. Well, hello, I don't know if you can hear me over the wind noise, but welcome to Caister-On-Sea. It's very breezy here, so I'm going to keep the talking to a minimum. Not been here before, so let's go ahead and have a little explore. Well, we've not been moved caravan, but we are back on site. We had a look around Caister. As it turns out, there really isn't much there at all. It's not worth it, honestly. I wish I could get my £4.50 back off the bus. Anyway, we're having a little bit of a look around now, what is known as the Abbey Horizon. It takes us back to 2012. And for me, it's a bit like stepping back in time, really. Especially with that thing, keep going beep. But, oh my, this takes you back a long way. Because I used to go on holidays in vans like this when I was younger, so for me it's like visiting my childhood. Anyway, we've got a few more vans out there. I might go have a look at a few, and in the meantime, I've got to go and figure out what else to do. So we've literally just been in the Abbey Horizon, right? I've moved right over to the Willoughby Seasons, right next door, and the layout is completely different, honestly. Because for starters, that is your little lounge living room area. Over here, you got your kitchen. And down here is a weird one, right? Because you've got a loo here, you've got a bathroom there, you've got a bathroom over here as well. No en-suites, but you do have 3 bedrooms, one there, and one weirdly shaped in here for some reason. I don't know why they've decided to put it like that, but okay, certainly different. No, certainly give it that. In the meantime, though, I'm going to have a little bit of continue looking around, and I don't really know what else to do today, because the big plan was to go into Caister, went into Caister, and there really wasn't much there. And so here we are now on to the Thursday. It's a little blurry because my camera doesn't know how to focus, so let's just go ahead and force it to do that. There we go, much better. But it's been kind of an interesting day. It's been a mix of a little bit of anything and everything. Caister wasn't exactly what I expected it to be, I'm not going to lie. And then, well, we're going to go ahead and have a look around the park, and then it ended up just absolutely like mad out there, and it has been pretty much the entire night. So it's just been like sat in front of the TV watching a little bit of, well, whatever's on. So on to tomorrow, I guess, or technically as I'm filming it is tomorrow, so we'll go ahead and find out what's going to happen for Thursday and what the plan's going to be. They are expecting rain again, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's another day in here. But well, let's go find out, shall we? In today number 4, probably part 2 if we're not already in part 2, so I don't know how I'm going to edit this, but almost a Thursday, methinks. And so we go on to today's interesting location, which is Caister Castle's car collection. We're already starting off with a rather interesting one here out the front from the 1930s. I've got no idea what it is, but it does look pretty cool. In fact, let's go around and have a look at the front. It is apparently an old Austin van. So we've just gotten to the edge of the bubble car immediately, and you can tell there's already a massive echo. But as you walk in, you've got a beautiful Austin 7 over here, and then you've got a 1957 Heinkel bubble car before ISO, before BMW. And I've got to say, it does look very interesting indeed. There's plenty more to look around, so it's going to be probably quite a long video going around here. So I'm very, very glad that I brought a spare battery. Now, as you've just seen on the B-roll, there's something very, very interesting here with this registration of Job 1. We'll get to that in just a second, because down here is a little Morgan three-wheeler. A very nice car indeed, and it's always strange to me that it has the engine right out the front. But anyway, going back to Job 1, over to the left is the first ever Ford Fiesta ever made, and I've got to say, it is a very nice car indeed, especially comparing it to the modern day Ford Fiesta, which means I've seen the most recent edition, and also this one as well, the first ever car. And I've got to say, it is fantastic, and in beautiful condition, with extremely low mileage too, less than 170. Moving further down, we've got something from the French. This is the Citroen Big 15. Don't know why it's got the Big 15, but apparently it's called that. We've got the Citroen B2 here, the white steamer from the USA from 1904. I've got to say, a very interesting vehicle indeed. We've got plenty more down here to have a look at. So let's keep having a look around, shall we? I'm just going to jump in from the B-roll for just 2 seconds, because looking over here, we've got two rather nice classic race cars. One of them being over here, which you've just seen, and the other one being over here as well, the white film car. Well, not much of it is known aside from that, but as you can see, it was used in the opening of a very interesting film indeed. Apparently it's a racing car style and based on a Rolls-Royce Phantom 1 chassis with a Rolls-Royce engine as well. Very interesting indeed. There's still plenty more cars to look through, and we've barely even scratched the surface, so let's keep going, shall we? So I've been able to replace the camera battery because it's slightly kind of run out on me, and moving a bit further down here, we've got a little horse-drawn carriage here. Very interesting indeed. Very much an old school Chrysler, and what looks like very much old school Chrysler condition. And a little thing down here which I didn't even know existed. This is a Glass 1300 GT, built in West Germany in the 1960s, and apparently registered in Belgium. It's a very strange looking vehicle, but I've got to say, it is quite a nice looking car indeed. And then we get to the two CVs here, and we got some Trabants further down as well, alongside two classic Minis, a car which I would love to own. And so we go from cars with names I can pronounce to one of which I didn't even know existed. This is the Iserta Francini. I've probably butchered that name, but it's from 1910s Italy, just a year before the First World War. And I've got to say, it's a very interesting vehicle indeed. By the looks of things, it's been completely restored from, well, this to this. So whoever's done the restoring of this has done an absolutely fantastic job indeed. We've also got ourselves an interesting sort of half bike, car, tricycle thing over here, alongside another interesting half car, half motorcycle and sidecar. And then over to here, we get something which is honestly quite a big car indeed. And this is apparently the Hispana Suiza K6, and a coach-built saloon from the 1930s. And I didn't know that this thing's Spanish, but I guess we do know now. To the right of it is a beautiful Ferrari 328. And I know somebody that's going to be watching this video who's probably going to be very envious of the fact I have just found one of these in person. So if you're watching this video, you know who you are. So I was going to consider doing the next bit B-roll. There's a very interesting little RX-7 down there, very early generation. There's also an Opel Manta over here as well, which we are going to go ahead and just have a look at quickly, because this thing deserves a little bit more popularity. So it's a beautiful car indeed. But moving further down down, we've got a rather nice Ford Escort here, and then we get to the good bits. This is the Nissan Bluebird from 1990. Very nice car indeed. You don't see many of these in the UK these days, or don't see many of these at all. And then to the right of it, then it gets interesting, because this is a very early generation Nissan Laurel. Now, for those of you that are in the drifting scene over in Japan, you know the Laurel is very, very popular, as is the Toyota Chaser. However, this is a very early generation, and what they looked like before, pretty much before they were popular. A very nice car indeed. Apparently this one is from 1991, 2.4 litre, with nearly 150,000 miles on the clock, and I've got to say, it's very, very nice indeed. And then we go over to the little cousin to Laurel, so to speak, with the Nissan Sunny. Again, this is another what looks to be 90s car. I've got to say, it's in very beautiful condition too. So we've seen plenty of classic, vintage and other assorted vehicles, and now we get to the, what I like to call somewhat more modern. We've got beautiful Cortina Estate down there. We do have first generation Ford Mondeo. Moving further down there, we go to 2006 with the Vauxhall Tigra, which is a very nice car, I can't lie. Very interesting vehicle indeed. Apparently it's the Vauxhall Tigra exclusive, with apparently 1.4 litre, and the thing I know, it's also got an interesting dent on it. But that's the thing I like about these, is Caister-On-Sea, the way they have their cars, is they don't try and over-restore them. They just keep them in like the original condition, which is fantastic. A bit like this little Rover here, the Rover Metro, which, as we can see, looking at the front fender, it's got a little bit of rust on it, just nothing major, you know. But it is a very, very nice car indeed. We've got the first generation 4KA, which was a strange vehicle, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to lie, rather. It's strange, I think, is the easiest way to put it. Beautiful Rover 75 here, and then we go all the way over to Skoda with the Skoda Octavia. Now, these ones I always get mixed up between the Octavia and the Superb, because to me they are just very similar for their time, but it's very interesting indeed. And we go from the new school, so to speak, straight back to the old school with a Morris van from the 1950s. Definitely seen better days, but it is still quite an interesting one to see. And we've got some stuff over here too. So moving further down, we've got two beautiful classic Jaguars. We've got ourselves a Series 2 E-Type with a beautiful 4.2 litre, and then next to it, the first ever convertible Jaguar XJS. Again, an absolutely wonderful looking car, a bit like the entire rest of the collection here at Caister. So if you ever get a chance to come and have a look, definitely go for it. It is very much worth it. So we go from classic cars to classic castles, because this is a Caister castle right here, and apparently it is the oldest known brick-built castle, or at the very least, well, what's left of it. But it's very interesting indeed. Apparently the cavities over there, winter quarters for the bees, and there's even more stuff over here. It looks like there is actually a way in that you can go and have a little bit of a look around, and apparently the tower closes at 3:45. It is currently 2:18, so we could go and have a look around, or rather going to the inside and looking up. There's not really much to be able to climb it unless I go through there. I don't know. But it's very echoey, so I guess if you want to record sounds of stuff being echoey, then this is the place to go. So moving away from the castle over there to this thing just near to the castle. Terrible segue, but you get the idea. We've got a giant steam-powered thing. I don't know what it does, but I know it does look to be steam-powered, and I've also got an interesting looking steam well thing there as well. But if anybody does actually happen to know what this thing is, please do go ahead, let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely quite intrigued and a little bit confused. And there we are, it is now Friday morning under technicalities. It's literally just turned midnight as I'm filming this, but there you go. Honestly, I can't believe it's nearly time to go back home already and start editing all this lot, which is going to be fantastic. Now, I know we kind of went from a harsh cut of what was on the table for dinner back to, hey, hello, we're in the van. But, well, most of it was spent looking out at the weather, while it was raining. It stopped raining now, thankfully, but it's a bit late in the day with it being midnight. Everything's pretty much closed. But I guess all that's now left to do is, well, get everything sorted, all packed up again. And of course, we all know we had a little friend to join us. If you happen to know where this little chap's from, then well done. We did, of course, also get over to the nice little Caister car museum today. A very nice place indeed. And it also reminds me that back in part 1, I bought my own little classic car, a nice little Mark 1 Hot Wheels Cortina. But that is pretty much, well, everything, really. Hopefully you've enjoyed this nice little 2-part series. It's been a whole day. And we do have another pretty cool thing planned as well. Hopefully I'm going to try and get to film as much as I can of that. But you have to keep an eye on the channel for that. This isn't the end of the video, by the way. Don't scroll away just yet. Because, of course, I've got to show you this very interesting photo on the wall. And also, we've got day number 5 to go as well. Which, well, it's going to be a bit like this. Good morning. Don't worry, you've not travelled back to day number 1 or magically skipped a video somehow. This is day number 5. It is Friday, the 12th of September. It is, unfortunately, the end of our holiday. But I thought before we go, I'll show you a little bit around the place. So we've got our main living room area here. We've got a little kind of like diner table over here. We've got ourselves our kitchens. Down here is the fun bit. We've got ourselves a bathroom in there. We have what was my room in here. We've also got, moving a bit further down, if I can get past all the doors, because there's so many. Going down here, we've got ourselves the spare bedroom, or to me and the people I was staying with, the storage room. And then down the end here, in the slightly darker room, is the master bedroom, which, to be fair, for a master bedroom, it's absolutely tiny. But at the end of the day, it is a caravan. And one of the cool things about this room as well is, you guessed it, it has its own bathroom too. However, as we make our way back down the hallway, as I try and close every door I've opened, because otherwise it's probably going to be a nightmare, it is time to get back into the car, get on the journey home, so I can get back to the studio and start editing this. But first, it's a little bit of B-roll, and I'll also pick up the camera if I spot anything interesting on the way. 2 things I forgot to mention. This caravan we've had is a Swift Bordeaux. For some reason the moon's out, and we also had a balcony as well. Forgot to mention those, so I'll just pop that in there really quick. Right, now let's get on the road. So for an update on the journey so far, I did say I'd get the camera out if anything got interesting. It got interesting indeed, because, well, we ended up in a traffic jam for roughly about an hour. So that's fun, isn't it? In the meantime, though, we're now going back to the car and trying my best not to get run over, and then we're going to go and continue on the journey. Well, I'm now back at the studio editing this video, and well, I got to the end of it and realised I didn't actually film an ending clip. I know, very professional. Anyway, thank you for watching this. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Zach out. See ya.